Hi, Karen.
Karen.
Oh,
Yep,
go ahead.
Karen. Karen?
Hi. Hi, yes, good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, very good. I was recently updating one of the primary contacts, to be the agency could do one invoice, and I don't know what I did, but I basically undid everything, and I somehow assigned the wrong person to be the primary. And so
Oh.
when I went back to try and undo it, I like totally, I don't know what I did, and I honest to goodness, I don't know what I hit, but I like totally undid them, like the
Oh,
whole
no.
entire agency. So I don't know how to. I went back and I tried and I even reached out to the help desk, and that wasn't much help. So I just need some help getting them realigned.
Okay, which chapter are you with?
SAPPA. SAPPA.
Yeah, let me get logged in over there. And it just depends on how challenging this is. So it's maybe something we have to take offline, but we'll take a look and see what's going on here.
Oh, and Michael, if you want to record, are you recording?
Yeah, I did. I set it up to
Oh,
record.
perfect. Thank you.
Okay, what's the last name of like the primary member?
The one that's supposed to be is Haven Wallace, Haven.
Tracy?
Yeah,
Oh,
so I'm trying.
sub-member within the primary. Okay.
Yeah, so I was trying to make her the primary, but it was somebody else that I actually made her somebody else the primary, but I try to like disassociate, like take it back to an individual and then like re-add her. But
Yeah.
it wouldn't let me disconnect her as being the primary.
Who is the primary now?
Ellis, I think, is her first name. Or Ellis is the last name.
You
can search by the agency.
Yeah, there it is. Okay, what's the agency?
UT. Just type in UT. Yeah, there you go. Health Science Center.
Oh my gosh, look at them all. Holy
yeah,
moly.
and there's 42 of them. So
okay.
Yeah, so I don't know what I did.
Who is supposed to be the primary now, you said?
The one that's designated primary that's on there now that's not supposed to be is Ellen. It's the second one from the top.
That one, okay.
Yeah, Ellen.
And they have no sub members. Okay. Yeah, this is something that we're gonna have to take offline because I don't have, I'm gonna have to do some work behind the scenes to get this cleaned up. So
Okay.
bear with me here. I'm gonna take some notes and then we'll have to get that taken care of. Okay, so this is for UT.
Yeah.
Science.
That's meaning everything.
And then the person who's supposed to be the primary is that their last name again?
Haven Wallace. Haven.
Should be primary. Okay. And then everyone else should be secondaries.
Yes,
right.
Correct.
I will work on these after the call. And then how do you want me to get hold of you? Do you prefer an email?
Yeah, that'd be fine.
Okay. And what's your email address?
I'll put it in the chat. It's a long email address. I'll put it in the chat.
Perfect. I appreciate
I
it.
can send it to you, Michael, as well. So
Okay. Cool. But
all right.
I'll be able to get this fixed. So no worries.
All right. Thank you.
They have a lot of secondaries, huh?
I didn't mean to do that. So like I said, I thought I was fixing it, but the more I clicked, I'm like, I could better stop because I'm making it worse.
Okay. Got it. All right.
Dawn, you have a question?
Oh, yes, I do. I'm with the local Georgia chapter of NIGP, and I've recently been getting emails saying a request to deactivate non-members. Are those automatic, or do we have to do something? Because it says to click on the admin function and user data removal request.
Yeah,
And
you
when
can, if you go into user data removal
Mhm.
request, you can approve them, and then the system will automatically scrub them within 7 days. If you don't respond to it, then the system will automatically scrub them within 30 days.
So I really don't need to do anything then.
You don't have to, right?
Okay, because when I was trying to look at it and do something, then it was actually giving me an error message. So then I'll just
Oh.
ignore it. Okay, cool. Just
Yeah,
want to make
the-
sure it
the-
wasn't something. Yeah.
The only time you would want to take action is if, and the whole reason this exists like
you.
this is because people have asked to be removed, and they would like do something. It would violate rules, or they would incur ridiculous costs on behalf of the organization, and then they would ask to be removed from the, scrubbed from the database, by cutting all ties with the organization. Then the organization now has the ability to say, no, you owe us money, so
Right.
we'll allow you to be scrubbed once you have coughed up what you owe us. So that's kind of, or sometimes there's pending legal issues with a member too, and so we have to keep those member records intact, even if they request to be removed while the legal proceedings are going on.
I do have a secondary question, Michael.
Yeah.
We have someone that wanted to sign up for a conference, but of course they didn't renew for like the last couple of years. So they're in a non-member status. Is the best way to get them current to just activate them or promote them to a current member for the 23 year and then have them renew to the 24 year?
Are they truly non-members, or are they just expired members?
It said non-member active.
That's unusual. Okay, so somebody might either converted them to a non-member, or maybe they got put into the non-member database. I don't know.
I'm not sure how it happened either, but so I did one and I converted it, to a member to
Yeah.
23 active, and then just said, hey, and I reset their password because they didn't have access, and
Yep.
then told them to renew to 24 so they could sign up for the conference. Is that a good
That's
way to
perfect.
do it?
That's
Okay, great.
perfect. Yep.
I just want to make sure I didn't mess it up. Thank you.
Yep, you're welcome.
Gary, you have your hand up?
Yes, thank you and good morning. Thank you for
Good
getting
morning.
us up at 8 o'clock in the morning over here.
Yeah.
And actually,
Yep.
my question is on our members, when we do the renewals, I see that expiration date says 12/30 of 23 and some says 12/31 of 24, but they all say active. Will the system, once it expires, will it change to expired and then we can go in and renew, or is that going to show up and confuse us as we have 632 people, members, when I know that some are expired, at least half.
Let's take a look at your settings. So which chapter are you with?
New Mexico NMPPA.
Oops.
I have the same question as well.
Okay. So if we go into control panel, go to people, and then renewal expiration settings, your active members in this case are going to stay active for 90 days until after December 31st. So roughly the end of March, if they haven't renewed and paid, they're going to get an expiration notice. And then at that point, the system will truly expire them. So when you go
All
into
right.
People Manager and search for them, their status will say expired.
Okay, for those of us that are still asleep at 8 o'clock in the morning having their coffee, can you slow down that response and show me where you went to?
Oh yeah, sure. Sorry. We go to control panel, go to people,
Yep.
renewal expiration settings,
Okay.
and then we scroll down, and then under expiration, we have should the system expire memberships if a renewal is not received, and we have yes with delay 90 days after expiration.
Okay, I lost you at go to renewal.
Renewal expiration settings
Where's that?
right here.
How did you
It's
get
under
to
the
that
people
page?
tab. It's under the people tab of control panel.
Yep, I went to people manager.
No, not people manager. You want the people tab. That's up here, people tab.
Yep, that's where I'm at.
And then down to renewal expiration settings down here.
All right, there you go. All right. So we can change this because we have to do a report at the end of the month and it's giving me false numbers.
Okay. So if you want them to be truly expired, then yeah, you'll have to change that so that the system expires them sooner.
Okay,
Okay.
so
Now,
we will
if you-
mess with it.
Yeah, and if you change them, keep in mind that it's not an immediate change because we run the process that expires people only Monday, Wednesday, and Friday mornings each week. So if you change it on Tuesday, you won't see those changes in effect until Wednesday morning.
Okay. Okay, well, then we'll do this part and we'll see what we can come up with.
Okay.
All right,
Hey, Michael,
thank you.
Yeah.
after we do what Gary's gonna initiate, can it kick us out an Excel report identifying the expired folks we can send a notification to?
After they're expired, yes, but until that process runs, they'll still going to appear as active members. There are reports, like if you go to membership info reports. Oh, I don't remember what it's called.
Michael, while you look that up, so is it possible to have the system just automatically send a notice out? Or do we have to generate a report to get that information?
It does. No, it does. The system will send it automatically. So based on this setting. So if this is set for 30 days, for example, then after that 30 days, after their expiration date passes, the system will automatically send them an expiration notice.
Okay,
And it will expire them in People Manager.
very good. Thank you.
You're welcome.
The renewal
yeah.
notice, oh.
I'm sorry.
let me
No,
read it.
so the report that you're going to want to run is membership status by expiration date. And then you'll see the ones that are 2024 and then 2023. But they're all going to be active members because right now they haven't expired. Yeah, did somebody else have a question?
Sean, did you have a question? Your hand is up.
Yes, good morning. I have a question about additional member data in the profile.
Yeah.
When I look at a primary member, it shows all of the questions. When I look
Okay.
at a secondary member, it doesn't. It only shows 2 or 3 questions, and it seems to vary from one member to the next on what questions are being shown.
You probably are one of the earlier chapters then. Which chapter are you with?
Central Florida chapter, CFC.
CFC, what's the total domain?
NIGP.org.
This was back before I was thinking ahead. So what happened is that when I created the additional member data questions, and let's say, I'll just grab one here, certificate expiration. I had applied it only to the primary member. You see this down here?
Okay.
So you just have to enable secondary for it to be applied to the secondary members as well.
Okay. Thank you.
I did do that on the later chapters that I implemented, but not on the earlier ones.
Amen, you have your hand up?
Yes. Hi, good morning, Michael. Where can I add the new members?
Where can you add?
The new
Maybe.
members.
Oh, the new members. If you go into control panel and then go into people and then people manager, you click on add member and it'll walk you through the new membership wizard to add them.
Oh, okay.
Hi,
Sorry, go ahead.
I'm good. How are you?
I'm sorry. Just last question. So, can I add? Do I have to add one vendor every time, or I can add?
Yes.
I have to
Yeah.
add one by one, right?
One at a time, correct.
And also, I'm not sure if our chapter is established yet or not.
Which one are you
So,
with?
New York City.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
you
so-
haven't sent us your data yet. You got to send us your bulk load data, and I'll
Okay.
upload all those members at one time. Right? You send it to Ronnie first, and then Ronnie will send it to me.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
You don't have to add those individually, and those will be the Excel spreadsheet of your members that you'll send me.
Yes. Okay. I'm just making sure. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Michael, you have your hand up? I see
I
him.
apologize, I never brought it back down, my fault.
Okay, Cheryl? You
Yes,
have your hand
going
up?
back to renewals. The email that is being sent out from our system needs to be updated. There's some missing information in there, like who our membership contact is, that sort of thing. How do you
There's
do that?
yeah. So in control panel,
Mm-hmm.
the first thing you want to do is you want to go to your chapter tab and make sure your contact us is up to date so that your membership chair is actually the person who's holding that position. So it's important that this stuff is all up to date and your president is who the current president is, because I know that stuff changes after the first of the year
It
frequently.
does, and I'm seeing it's not updated in the system. Okay.
Yeah, so you're going to want to update it here. That way, when we go to the actual email itself, which is under communications
Mm-hmm.
and then under system emails,
Okay.
and then we're going to go all the way down to the R's, which is renewal notice number 1, number 2, and number 3.
Okay.
So number 1, we'll just take a look at it here. And there's a lot of tags in here, but the
Okay.
membership director tag and the president tag, these automatically get replaced by the system from that previous module that I was showing you.
It doesn't look like ours did that because we have people in that area. They're not correct at the moment, but when we sent out our membership notices, none of that was filled in.
What is your chapter?
It's Tampa Bay, so it's nigp-tampabay.org.
Tampa
Tampa Bay.
Bay.org.
.org.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you, honey. Appreciate it. Okay, so if we go into your system emails, and is it just renewal notice number 1?
Yeah, that's the one that I haven't looked at the others because I think our organization renewed since then.
Yeah.
I'll need to
Yeah.
look at all of them, but that's where I noticed this.
Yeah, there's no information here, so it looks like it's never been updated. So that means the information it's pulling isn't correct.
Mm-hmm.
So it's pulling it from here. So the president is probably pulling Stacy Gundry.
It's not
And
putting
then-
anybody's in there. It's blank. It just says, if you have questions about the membership process of your account, contact and there's nothing after it. Phone number, nothing after it. Like it's like that email has never been formatted. Because it's not pulling anybody's information in.
It's not, okay.
Mm-mm.
Okay, let me check one more
Those
place
weren't
then.
tagged where it had president name and all that.
Yeah,
They weren't hyperlinks in that email. I just saw that. It was just text.
share. Oh, that's okay though. That's the
Oh,
text
okay.
will still get replaced. Yeah.
Okay.
You know what? You don't have a president identified, so that would be one of it. So, oh yeah, it is. The president is
Okay.
identified. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, we
So the
haven't
president is
updated
the
it for the
president. The
current
membership
year.
chair is the membership chair.
Yeah.
And then we go here, and president is Stacy Gundry, and treasurer is Damaris.
Mm-hmm. Everybody's moved up a level, so we need to fix that, but it's correct for last year. Yes.
Okay, but that's still not populating in
I
this
can
month.
forward you what came out back in November if you want to look further into that offline.
Yeah, I'm going to send myself a copy of it here.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I'll take a look at that once I
Okay.
get that email sent to me, and it'll take a little bit.
Okay. Thank you.
Sure.
Julie, you have a question?
Yeah, I was just needing to update our photos on our front page. And so I've always, when I first created the website, I had to really play around to get them to fit well, because sometimes they're not landscape photos and things like that. So I'll use those sizes. And then also on our chapter news, I have to also play around with the sizes of the images that show up on the front
In the news
screen.
itself. Oh, you mean like here? Oh, yeah, like, cause
Yeah, see,
this is
like that. Yeah.
almost inappropriate here. Yeah.
Yeah. So my chapter is DFW NIGP. So that's where we're at. But I need to update our photos, but they have not been updated
Yeah, the
recently.
photos, they really should be 1600 by
400.
400. Yes.
Okay.
They really should. And if you scale them up, they're going to get pixelated. So it's best if you start with larger, high resolution photos and scale them down. Like if you do a small snapshot, it's not gonna look good when you scale it up to 1600 wide.
Mm-hmm.
So you're gonna want to start with higher resolution, larger photos, and then
Okay.
scale them down and
And
crop them down.
Yeah, if you scroll down, because if you scroll sideways, you can see see, I've added these images. Those look okay, but we
Yeah.
had other images we tried to add and it wouldn't work, so I had to find new ones.
Yeah. Yeah, this one's kind of particular as far as the image that's shown. And
Mm-hmm.
if you go into the module, I don't think it even tells you like recommended sizes. It's really just kind of a
Play with it and figure it
play
out.
with it until you figure it
Yeah.
out. Yeah.
Yeah.
See,
So,
this one's active.
because I'm
Yeah.
falling off the board this year, so I just wanted to update the photos before I end.
I mean, it does look like it might be like
Yeah.
300 pixels wide versus like 250 pixels high or something. I mean, it does look like it's a small for the news photo.
Yeah, it is small, and we can even do a
So-
little. Let's see if we do this. So see right up there where it says 300 by 150.
Mm-hmm.
That'll give you an idea of what will be an ideal image size. 300 by 150. I
So
didn't know
how
if that
did
popped up or
you
not.
did you right click it and it popped up?
Oh, you know what? I'm sorry. This is the easiest way for most people to do it. If you just right click and choose inspect,
Okay.
then it's going to bring up this side panel.
Yes.
And if you click on this icon to select an element and then just highlight it, it'll give you properties for that element.
Okay. I'm curious, what are the ones next to it?
They're all the
same?
same. Yeah, because
Okay,
what it's
good.
showing you is the size of the panel that the image will be displayed in. It's not
Oh,
showing you the
okay.
size of the image, it's showing you the size of the panel the image will be.
Yeah. Okay.
So that tells you what size your images should be to fit in that, fit ideally in that panel.
Okay. Well, great. Well, yeah. Well, I'll just play around with it. I just wanted to check with y'all on that before I started to save myself some time.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
But doing stuff like this inspector, you can get easily overwhelmed with information, and you'll see a lot of information that you may not have any care about.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, for some basic things, it really is kind of nice to see real quick what image size should I be shooting for.
Okay. Well, that sounds good. Thank you.
Yep, you're welcome.
Heather?
Yes, good
Amanda?
morning. So do you guys offer a training for newly elected board members that were not involved in the original transition to Club Express?
Yeah, we're talking about that with Ronnie and Fereshta now.
Because I think I'm going to need one.
So we are going to be doing, sometime in February, we are going to be doing a session geared specifically to those that are new to the system. So I will be sending out information, and Brittany, you are now on my distribution list. So when we have all of that and a date and time finalized, I will send out information to you about that. And it'll go to the whole distribution list, so.
Ronnie, if we've already updated our admins in the website and their new roles, will they automatically be invited?
No, so that is something, is that there's no link between that information in your sites and me. So if you have people, any turnover, if you can let me know of who needs to be added, so I'm sure to put them on our distribution, but also on this invite, right, to office hours, right? So
Yes.
I need to have that information. So if you can send that to me, that'd be
Okay.
great.
I will send that to you for both right now. Thank you.
Perfect, sure. Okay, Sean, you have your hand up.
Yes, thank you. Central Florida chapter again, Michael. How do I add a membership directory so that members can search for other members?
Let's get, what was it? Central.
CFC.
There it is.
Yep.
Okay, so it's really kind of easy in your case, and you're going to want it to be on the member side, not on the non-member side. So I happen to know that this submenu is members only. And if we go to websites and go down to menus, member resources, this is the one we want to add it to. But if we go to member menu, just to see, member resources is a submenu that is available to members. So you have to be logged in order to see it. But on the public menu, member resources is not on there. So
Right, okay.
That's great. So we know member resources are there. So we're going to click the pencil next to member resources. And there is a membership directory here. And if we pop it over to the right-hand side and then click save, now when you go to member resources, you have this membership directory. And now you've got a directory for members to be able to search other members.
Perfect, thank you.
Yeah, now there's also a business directory too. So with a business directory, the members actually have to go into their profile and select a business category. It's kind of like the yellow pages because everybody's grouped by business category instead of by, like in the member directory there, you can search by name and other criteria. But if you want the business directory where they'd be, be returned based on a business category, then you would want to use the business directory. You guys are all pretty much in the same category anyway, right?
Yeah. And is there a way to remove the map that shows up when you go to the directory page?
Yeah,
I mean,
control panel, go to people, and then standard member directory, and then display map. Just uncheck it, and then click save. And then you can change their cards too. So you can have different cards appear. So you can have cards where you hover over it and get some information, cards where it can drop down with more information. So you can change how it displays.
Great,
so I just turned it off now. And if we go back to the membership directory, the map isn't there.
Awesome.
Cool.
Brittany, you have a question?
Yes, good morning. This might be a new question. If anyone hasn't asked this, email notices, is there a way to attach a meeting notice as an attachment when sending emails out? So like, our idea is like attaching it to the email itself. And so, they can click it and then just accept and then put it on their Outlook calendars after they've already like registered. Is that a thing?
The reason being that deliverability of those emails drops substantially. So what we do allow is, like, if you go to the email or to the event itself, you can click on add to my calendar to add it to their Outlook or Gmail or whatever calendar they're using. But as far as the event like the event registration confirmation, that I believe also allows you to add it. I think. That's a good question. I don't remember.
Okay. Yeah, if you just happen to know
let's go
later,
take a
that's
look.
fine.
Event registration confirmation. No, I guess it doesn't. But yeah, I mean, event or deliverability drops once you start adding things, because in order to add something to the calendar, it has to add a little bit of JavaScript, a very small amount, but still, once you add JavaScript to emails, the deliverability of that email drops substantially. And especially if you're part of an organization that tries to filter out as much spam and potential phishing emails as possible. And I suspect most of your organizations do that, then, the chances of it getting delivered to you is slim.
Yeah, we had a couple questions from our membership. They just wanted to make it easier for themselves
Yeah.
to like put it on their calendar so they could block it out, for work
Sure.
purposes. And then I did have another quick question. We're having an issue with adding Teams links to the events. So when we go to create an event, having an issue of adding a Teams link. And we're the Austin chapter in
And it's
Texas.
just Teams?
Yes.
What did I do? Okay.
We're Austin on tap.
.org.
Yes, austinontap.org.
So if we go to events, oops. Why are we getting? It shouldn't be popping those new things up. All right. Let's say, I don't know. Do you have one for example?
You can try that January one, the 1/10/24 one right there. That's the second one.
Oh, that's a quick
Yeah.
event though. I'm not sure you can add those to quick events, can you?
Oh, we didn't know how to create an event, so
Yeah.
we just did it by quick event.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
Right. But when our members go and click that, they were having an issue of like opening it and then joining the Teams link.
Yeah, it looks like an incomplete link to me. It looks like it's not a complete link. Is it? Because the
That's
links,
just
the
what we
links that I
copy and
see,
paste.
really, the links I see are typically longer than that. Let me see if I can find one here.
And unfortunately, we weren't able to like share that image that's there. We just wanted to like post it on the meeting event itself.
Yeah, that share image is more. Yeah, see the link that I have, even for this call that we're on, is so much longer than that. That just looks like an incomplete link to me. Yeah, I don't see how people are going to be able to use that. I don't know.
Yeah, we can take a look at it
Yeah.
and see and just play around with it. But that share image, are you just not able to post that on your event itself when you're in a quick event?
Yeah, what it's for is for sharing the event to social media. So if I don't, it doesn't look like you have any social media created.
Right.
Yeah, you're not using any social networking or anything like that. So if you were, then you'd be able to share, and that would be you'd be able to share the event, and that would be the image that would be shared with the event.
So is the preferred method not to use the quick event option?
Quick event is handy if you just need to get it on the calendar and you don't care about a lot of settings. But the full event, what it's just called event, is my preference. Unfortunately, it has a lot of settings, but on the positive side, it has a lot of settings. So there's a lot you can change and configure. So if you just, like I said, if you just want to get it on the calendar, quick event is the way to do it. But if you want to be able to configure and set this up and set that up, then a full event is the way to do it.
Okay, got it. Thank you so much.
Sure.
Alan, you have your hand up?
Yes. Mike, I've got a couple of questions. I'm with the Kentucky Public Procurement Association.
Okay, Kentucky, is it
KPPA?
KPPA. There it is. Yeah, what can we help you with?
So I've got a membership question. We have our regular individual memberships. We've also created a way of tracking memberships because our forum that we have every year, the cost of that forum pays for your membership dues for the following year. So we
Okay.
created a membership type for people that attended forum this year, so it automatically renewed their membership for next year and didn't charge them anything.
Okay.
We have so many vendors that we work with that attend our reverse trade show every year and our vendor exposition every year. Is there a membership type that we need to or can create for them so we can track them in our website so they can get notifications? But it wouldn't be something that they would have to renew every year. It wouldn't be a cost associated with a membership for them. Just a
Yeah.
dictionary or a
here's-
directory of our vendors.
You can do it as a membership, but then, if they're active members, you're going to be billed for them on a monthly basis. So what I would recommend doing instead is to create, put them in there as non-members and giving a special mailing list category. So if you go to control panel, go to communications, and then click on mailing list categories, we can add a category and we'll call it vendor, or maybe call it, what do you want to call it? Trade fair vendor or something like that.
Vendor would be good.
So we'll just call it vendor. And then we'll click save. And then what we're going to do is taking a minute here. So then when you go in and, we have non-members in the system now, right? So if you look at these 75 people who are non-members, any of them who are vendors, then you can just click on this icon here, mailing list categories, and you can add them to the vendor list.
Okay.
Now going forward, when you go into create an emailing, let's see, we got a draft here. So one of the distribution lists is non-members and a selected category, and you can select vendor.
Okay. So when we add them as a non-member, we just have to remember to go in and select that mailing list as a vendor, because
Yes.
we have people in that category that are not vendors as well.
Right. Yeah. But that's the nice thing about having different categories is you can have, when I'm looking at your non-members here, if we click on this one, you can have people who are event registrants and vendors, and maybe, maybe they're donors too. So they can be part of more than one mailing list category.
Okay.
And you can do the same thing with members too. Like you can have members who, because you might have a member who really may also want to be on the vendor list. So then you put them on the vendor list.
Right. Yeah, we do have that instance as well.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right. Thank you for that, Mike. Second question is that we are noticing we've had several emails go out from the system, and I've been pulling reports on seeing who of the membership are getting those emails, who's reading those emails. And it may be something on our side, a security setting on our side, but I'm getting a lot of people letting me know that they're not getting the blast emails from the system.
Okay.
And it's showing up on the report that they are getting them. It's just
so they're getting sent. They're just not getting delivered.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
So the way our system works is that when our email server sends them out, if they bounce, they're going to end up in the bad emails module. Like for whatever reason, they whether it's temporary failure or their server rejected it, or that person is no longer with the organization, it's going to bounce and it's going to end up with the bad emails module.
Okay.
And then so you can look for it there. You can also look under reports under member email problems and see members without email, members refusing email. And that happens where people will accidentally refuse email.
Mm-hmm.
So if we take a look at that, then we can see that we have quite a few people on this list who said that they do not want to receive bulk emails from the organization.
Okay.
So those obviously are going to get excluded.
But
And
if they're not
then,
on that report and they're not on the bad emails report, then it's
Then we
safe to
sent
admit
it.
that it sent it.
it's
And it's
sent it.
something
Yeah.
on our side keeping them from getting that email.
That's something, yes, yeah. What we can also take a look at is, in fact, I will do this, is we will look at kppanigp.org. Whether we have a good, clean, what we call a DKIM record, which is, it's a security that email systems use to talk to each other that says that we are a safe sender to send emails on your behalf.
Okay.
And so I'll make sure that that is updated. I'll check the DKIM record just to make sure.
Okay. All right. All right. That takes care of me. Thank you.
Sure.
Sean, you have your hand up?
Yeah, another question about events. Michael, this is for the Central Florida chapter.
Oh yeah.
We had an event last week, and I couldn't figure out what was wrong in the settings, but a primary member couldn't sign up other members. They
Okay.
could only sign up guests,
Oh.
which created a new profile that was a non-member. Basically, it was
Right.
the 119 meeting.
This membership meeting here. Okay.
But I've done it right in the past, so I just couldn't figure out what the setting was.
So we've got member guest, another member, another person in your membership. So that's good. And then we just have to look at the activities and see what people can sign up for with the activities themselves. So if we look at in-person registration, well, it wouldn't be in person. Oh, no, yeah, I guess. So we look at who can register.
both.
And you only have member attendee active members. That's why. So only the primary member can register. So what you need to do is add, the another from the same agency in-person member, another from the same agency. So you got to add all these other member types that show another person in their membership in order for them to be able to register for the different activities.
Okay.
Because right now only the primary can register for this one. If we look at this one,
It's
only
probably
the
same.
primary, only the primary can
Mm.
register.
I gotcha. So this has to be set up in both the registration and fee section and the activities and items section,
Well,
or the who can
With-
register section. Sorry.
with the multi-activity event, basically in this module or in this panel under who can register, all you're doing is setting up the different registrant types and the different, just the different registrant types.
Okay.
So it behaves a little bit differently than a single activity event. So whereas in a single activity event, you set up your registrant types and you set up your fees here. But in a multi-activity event, you just set up the registrant types. And then you go into the activity itself and you set up from that list who can register for each activity and what fee will they pay.
Gotcha. Okay. Is there? I know we can copy a previous event, but is there a way to set up like a template so that some stuff isn't copied over, but like these types of settings are when
Well,
we create a new meeting?
other than literally creating an event and calling it template, no, but I would do that. I would create an event and call it template and make it not visible and, use that to copy from.
Okay.
And
Okay.
just have in it the settings that you want for future events.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Sure.
Tina, you have your hand up?
I do. My question was regarding vendor setup for event, not vendor setup, it's for an event setup. And we were on the page where it had, let me go to it because I came out of it. It asked the question, the policy question.
Okay.
And for the policy question, I couldn't figure out what is the release? It asks the release agreement. What is the release agreement and where is it at so we can view it? Because I didn't understand.
Yeah. It's not logging in. Why is it not logging me in? There we go. Okay, which event was it?
Reverse trade fair.
Okay, so the policy here. So if you're going to have a release agreement, you're going to say, is it required? And is it required? Are you going to use a quick release? If no, a quick release is basically saying we absolve you from blah, blah, blah. You can use the default, or you can say use a custom agreement. If you say use a custom agreement, then you have a box that appears to put your own agreement in there. But if you want to use the default agreement, then we go back to the event manager and click on configure event defaults.
Mhm.
And then this is the agreement. It's empty, but
Okay, okay, so it's not, we don't have one right now.
right, yeah, it's empty, right?
Okay, I thought that was system generated.
No, no.
Okay, so that means we'll be checking, leaving that as no.
Okay.
Also, the event is a cancel. It mentions cancellation, also cancellation policy. Do we have a default cancellation policy in the system?
Right here, it's empty. It's blank also.
Blank also.
Yep.
Okay, so we have to create both of those,
Correct.
or select no and no.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Or you can say you can select a custom one for that event, and then you just use it only for that event.
Got you. But we don't
Totally.
have any samples in the system to play with.
Right. Yeah, because we're not going to put ourselves at risk of, putting out a policy that violates your local state laws or anything like that.
Got you.
We leave it up to your attorneys and insurance people to figure out.
Okay. Now the other question was, you said who can register? No, we covered that. Who can register? The calendar. So we went through the who can register and what will they pay. We clicked that, and we have a box for the member and for the vendor registration. But will this information pop up on the calendar once we activate this?
Yeah, as
Yvette?
soon as it's ready to go, it will appear on the calendar. Yeah,
Okay. It'll appear
but
on the
right now
calendar.
it's not. Yeah,
Okay, so we'll give you a preview of what that looks like.
yeah. You have right now you have it not to be visible until the 26th, but then you also don't have this panel is complete on the basic info, so it's not going to appear anyway.
Okay, right. We wanted
Yeah.
to wait until we were absolutely sure we had everything in there before we activated it.
Sure.
Okay, need for create a photo album. Nope, I don't have that. I got that. Email confirmations. I think I covered that. I don't think I have any more questions. I think that's it. Otherwise,
Okay.
I'll give you guys a call. Thank you.
Okay.
So Mike, help me out here. Mike has a question in chat. What is the name of the record for the email handshake, the DTIM record?
DKIM.
DKIM?
Yes.
And is that something I can check on, or does Club Express have to check on that? We had frequent problems with that in our former system.
If we are handling the name servers for your domain, then we handle it. If it's something that you handle, then you would have to get your own DKIM record. So it just depends on how that particular chapter is handling their domain. In most of these cases, I think we're handling the domain for most of the chapters.
Yeah, I don't know of any Mississippi. That would be Mississippi, and I think we are, Mike. We are handling your domain, so we should. It shouldn't be an
I can add them to the
issue.
list to check it, but
Yep. He says, okay,
Mississippi.
thanks. Yep, Mississippi. Yep. MAGPA.
Yeah, it's
MAGPA.
magpa.org.
There it is.
MAGPA.
Mag. I'm just making some notes here so I can follow up on these things. Check the DKIM. Okay. Yep, I will check it.
Thank you.
So, another hand up. Donna, you have your hand up.
Yeah, I have a question about, oh, I'm sorry, my brain just went blank. For the document library. This is an emerging problem. I don't have a lot of like details about it, but it initially looks like maybe some of our folders might be changing their visibility status without us changing it. And I'm not, like I said, I don't have an example of, oh, this folder had this status and then a week later it had this status. But I remember from our setup that a lot of the folders are nested. And I'm wondering if, like, if you create a folder inside another folder, or if you upload a file inside a folder, it shouldn't affect the visibility of other folders.
It does.
Does.
Yeah, so if you have nested folders, the highest level of security is going to be enforced for them. So let's say you have a parent folder and then you have two child folders underneath them, and those two child folders are, let's say, public. But that parent folder is members only. Everything under that, the folder and the subfolders, is going to be members only. The highest level of security is going to be enforced.
Okay, and will it actually change their status?
It won't change the setting, but it will behave that way.
Okay. And that may be what was happening, is the person noticed that something wasn't visible.
Yeah.
Not through the member direct, or not through the document library, but from trying to look at it on the website. I will have to check on that. But
yeah,
so
what I've seen a couple of times with other chapters too is that they will set up like a parent folder to be admins only. And then underneath it, they will put in some members only folders. And then, of course, members aren't going to be able to access it unless they also happen to be admins.
Okay. So like, if we have, for example, a folder that has a mix of public things we want to be available to the public and things we only want to be available to members, it might be worthwhile to put those in two separate folders, one that is the public facing one and one that is the members only, because does it work the other way as well? So like, if you have a public folder and then inside it is an admins only folder, that's still going to work correctly.
Yes,
it's only going to be
correct.
wrong if the parent folder has a higher level of or I don't know what words to use. I'm sorry.
Yeah, security. You're right. You're
security.
Exactly right, though. Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. I bet that's what's causing the problem. So
yeah.
Thank you. I figured it was I remember a very confusing chart from the implementation thing, and I'm like, I'm gonna have to learn that eventually, and I think now is when I'm gonna have to learn. Thank you.
Yep.
Does anyone else have any questions for Michael? We've got a few minutes left. No? One thing
Michael, I'm not sure.
Go on, go ahead.
If we have time to go over voting on the website, specifically like board voting.
Oh, board voting, sure. Like an election. So the best way to handle this, and that's why we created this, is it's under communications, ad hoc forms. No, I'm sorry, wrong one. Surveys. And then when you add a survey, when you create it, you configure it as an election. And when you do that, it will absolutely restrict anyone from taking it more than once. So it will require that people log in to take it, and it will, even if you're an admin, it will prevent you from taking it more than once.
Okay.
And then so you create it, and then once you've created it, then you assign questions to it by clicking on the question mark icon. And then you set up your questions, who do you support this person as the president? Do you support this person as, or however you word it, whatever.
Okay.
But yeah, but the important thing is that you configure it as a election from the beginning, because once you can create it and start adding questions, you won't be able to go back and configure it as a question, like as an election later. So it has to be done from the get-go.
Okay. Thanks, Michael.
You're welcome.
Any other questions? I did want to stress once again, if you all in your chapters, everyone who's on the call, you have people who are new to either as a coordinator on your site or a full admin on your site who you would like to have information about training or office hours to come and attend that, these, if you could reach out to me and let me know who those people are and their contact information. That way I can be sure to add them to my distribution list. And I guess since we have no more questions, only 5 more minutes, say thank you to Michael. We will do this again. Our next one will be the second Tuesday in February at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard. We're trying something new in order to try to accommodate a few more people. So doing the 10 a.m. Eastern for the 4th Tuesday. But our next one will be the second Tuesday in February at noon. So thank you, everyone. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank
Take care,
you.
everybody.
Thanks, Michael. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks,
Bye-bye.
Ronnie.
Thank you.